afternoon. Well, I've been, everybody knows I've been getting ready for a show a couple of weeks here in Rockmart. But another item that seems to do pretty well at these shows is bottle stoppers. Little bottle stoppers. And these things are relatively easy to make once you get set up for them, and man, I think they really look nice when they get done. I like them, and you can do just anything you want to with them. This one here is acrylic. I did it out of acrylic. It's a little bit bigger handle than the others, but that was my leftover acrylic when I pour pen blanks or something like that. I fill up a, let's see if I can find it. Oh, right here it is. I just fill this piece of PVC, it's 2-inch PVC. I put all my extra resin in here, and once I get it full, then I've got me a bottle stopper blank. So, that's where this came from. It's pretty nice to have come from, a lot of different resins. But I buy my my bottle stoppers at Hobby Lobby, and basically, if I can get it off of here, let me try another one. Oh, there we go. Some of them get really, really tight. But when you buy it, it comes with a little thing like this, and it's screwed in there. Okay, well, you just take this out, throw it away. But then all you need, these things cost about $5 or $6 a piece at Hobby Lobby, and all you need is a threaded rod, the right size and thread to go in here, and you can do all the bottle stoppers you want. It is a 8mm by 1.25, and I just bought a 36-inch threaded rod. I cut off what I need. I thread one end into here, and the other end threads into the bottle stopper. I cut threads right into the bottle stopper right there, and sure enough, it screws right on there. And that one's ready to go. But I'll show you how I do this. I don't believe that's the standard size for bottle stoppers. I do mine from Hobby Lobby, and that's the size that they use, threaded rod. So, but I'm going to show you how to make a jig for turning these things and getting them all just right every time, and we'll get started on that right now. All right, starting out, I'm just going to triple waste block and get me a tenon on it so I can mount it in my chuck. And this is going to end up being my bottle stopper jig. I have a lot of wind out here. Got a tree rubbing against the top of my building. Anyway, I got it mounted in the truck. I'm going to finish truing it up. This is about a 3x3 waste block. Just a piece of oak that I had laying around in the floor in here. Alright, so we'll get her trued up and get the face nice and flat. Now I need to measure the diameter of my bottle stopper. So at the top of the bottle stopper, I'll just cut me a tenon, probably about 1/4 to 3/8 inches wide or long on here, and then I'll just shape out, remove some of the excess wood on it, and now I'm ready. I've almost got it. Now I'll just drill out the center to tap for my 8 by 1.25 threaded rod, and I always use my tailstock to hold my tap, because that way I know it goes straight. I don't have to worry about trying to hold it. When I try to hold it like that, it never ends up perfectly straight. It takes a little more time to do it this way. I just have my tailstock loose, and I just kind of press in as I turn the tap, and then I'll pull back as I bring it out, and it works really well. It taps in really good. Blow it out good, and I don't know if you can actually see the threads or not, but it cut threads. Now I'll just strengthen the threads with some thin super glue, and I'll glue the bolt in. Now pliers can booger this thing up a little bit, but if you just take a file and knock that off, you still got plenty of threads left to hold your bottle stopper. Mark for your length. I cut this in about 3/4 of an inch. Cut it off. Clean up the jagged edge, and just clean up the jagged edge with a file, and then clean out the thread right there, and it'll go right in there. Your bottle stopper, and it turns true, so we're good to go. All right, now I got my bottle stopper blank in here, and it's just a 2x2 blank. It's about 2 1/4 inches long. I always cut them a little long in case I want to make taller bottle stoppers, but I'll just start getting it trued up, and I'll have to drill and tap this one also. I'm fixing to cut me some limbs off this oak tree. I'm gonna go get my pole saw out and start cutting some limbs. Alright, so now I got it trued up. I'll need to true across the face here to make sure that it sits flat. Nice and flat. Slow my lathe back down, and now I've got me a divot. I'll drill and tap this one just like I did the other. I'll use the tailstock for the entire thing. And this video is sped up about 3 or 4 times, so it looks like it's really spinning fast, but really I'm about 600 RPMs. And we'll just thread it in. This ensures that your bottle stopper handle will mate up to the actual steel part nice and flat. Alright, so I've got my waste block mounted back in here. I'm just going to screw this on, screw my blank onto it. Don't get it too tight, but bring up tailstock. Now I'm spinning around 2800 RPM. That's as fast as I can get my lathe to go. And we'll go ahead and start shaping this thing, truing it up, getting it shaped out. Whatever shape you want. And I kind of like the smaller handles better myself. I could make it, really big if I wanted to, but I kind of like the smaller handles. And I just have to make sure that I meet that diameter at the bottom down there on the waste block. If I meet that diameter, it should fit perfectly on the steel bottle stopper. And I can't decide what I want to do. I do not want to cut it off about here, so I'm just gonna start cutting this and get some of this wood out of here. And I'll finish it off with a skew.
cutting this off. Alright, just start working on the top a little bit. Kind of rounding it as I go. It's not quite as easy as cutting it flat. Let's see if I can get a good cut here. There we go. Very nice. Very nice. Really windy out here in the shop. Okay, a couple of decorative marks. Scrape it down a little bit. Make sure I get all my tool marks out so that sanding will go really easy. I'm at 2860 RPMs. Alright, now we'll just start sanding. I'll sand up to 220 grit. There again, I've got my lathe slow back down. But I'll sand up to 220 grit, and then I'll start working on burning these lines in. And then I'll complete my sanding up to 400 grit. Okay, we'll burn this in. And we'll clean all that up with 320, and then we'll move on to 400. Make sure you always sand with a grain. Sound like that tree's tearing my shop down. Not much I can do about that right now. This is my homemade chatter tool. Just a reciprocating saw blade that I shaped the nose like a round nose scraper and got a good sharp edge on it. These things are just about the right, have just about the right flex. To work as a chatter tool. And it makes a nice fine chatter work all the way around. Let's see if I can show it to you here. Perhaps you can see it. Just really fine chatter work around, all the way around it. You can see it a little better here. Okay. Now I'm just going to clean up the edges of it with a skew. All right. Okay, getting close. I'm just going to start applying my sanding sealer, blow everything off real good. And the sanding sealer I'm using is Depth. It's a lacquer based sanding sealer. And I'm just keeping this little squirt bottle because I buy it, I have to get it by the gallon. It's the only way I can buy it locally. So anyway, I'll apply a couple coats of this. And I've got my dust collector set up here to catch any overspray, and it gets it off. There's none getting on the lathe or my tools. So I found that's a good little strategy. That way I don't have to. Now we'll just start doing a little coloring on the chatter work a little bit. This is always fun, playing around with the colors. Just kind of see what you get, you know. And then I'll come back with my final coats. It'll take about 2 more coats. Sand that little bit of ink off of there right there. But I'll come back with about 2 more spray coats, and this thing will be done. Cool, I like that. Alright, well, everything's cured up. I get my bolt screwed into the bottle stopper, and then I'll just install the handle. Just like so. Haha! There we go. Nice little bottle stopper.
Well, there you go. That about wraps that one up. I hope you found some tips helpful. Maybe you can save a little money if you decide to do bottle stoppers, or if you already are, maybe that a new source. But these things are awesome. They're a lot of fun, and you can sell them. You can make a little money off of them. But there again, why do I use lacquer? A lot of wood turners, that's like sacrilege to use a spray finish. No, I'm not worried about that. What I'm worried about is a customer bringing this thing back to me and saying, "Hey, look, that thing don't look as good as it did, a month ago when I bought it. It looked and waxes and oils and friction polishes and stuff tend to get, I don't know, as people tighten these things up, or it's just like a pen. If it's under heavy use, it's used every day, or or moderate use, the finish just don't hold up on those things. So I use lacquer. It's a good hard finish, and it'll be there. It'll be there for a long time. It'll look that good, as long as people take care of it, and don't abuse it. But this one here was acrylic, and the way I do that is, sometimes I'll just pour acrylic ones, but this one was, I had it in here, and I take all my leftover resins whenever I'm casting pins or whatever, and I just dump my leftovers in here, and once I get done, I get a blank, just like this. You can kind of see the layers in there. I had a lot more red in this one because I was doing a lot of red pins at that time, but there's gold and black and blue, green, all different kinds of colors in there. But anyway, the way I polish this one is, this is polished. This isn't actually finished. It's polished, and I've got a video on how I polish acrylic. If you'd like to see that, I'll leave it in the description below. But I hope y'all enjoyed that project. I'm just turning and burning my way on to these shows. I got a couple shows coming up over the next couple of months and all, and I'm just out here working every day. Y'all have a good day, and I'll see y'all later.